Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another video using the French Florals from Chapter 1 papers, and I'm going to be making a waterfall page. So I watched Angela Kerr Designs do one on her channel a few days ago, so I went ahead and gave it a try. My first attempt was a total fail, so I am doing it again. I played around. I usually make a prototype when it's something this new and different, and I didn't do that, and so that really kind of bit me in the behind. So I did go ahead and get all the kinks ironed out so that I can show you how it works. I do encourage you to head over to Angela Kerr Designs because I did watch her video and that's where I got the idea. Though I commented on her video and told her I was just dreaming about this. Like, it was so weird that I was dreaming about it, about making a waterfall page with envelopes, and she did one. So it was kind of funny. So what I'm going to do is just show you the bits here really quick. So I already put mine together, so it flips up like this, and then you cover both the front and the back. But I'm going to show you how I did it as well, so that you guys aren't just like, oh, well, that's magical, there it is, how did she do it? So I will be doing that for you here in a moment. I also have all of my papers pre-cut, and I've got this kind of eyelet trim, or I don't know what you call it. It's not an eyelet trim. Maybe it's an eyelet trim. But I'm going to actually sew these on. I did it on my prototype, and I loved the look. So I will be doing that. But first we're going to get to the envelopes. So let me just move some stuff and get my cutter out. So I am using envelopes. I apologize, I didn't measure. Hang on, let me grab one. And I'm going to reach over you here, over the camera, get my ruler. Should probably make a new place for that. I could have used my mat, I guess, but it's a work day. So the envelope is 5. It looks like about 5 3/4. So I cut it. I didn't cut it this way any further. It measures, I believe, 4 1/2-ish. So I didn't do any further cutting on that, but I did cut these down to 4 inches. So what I did is I just made sure all the flaps were in the same spot. Oh, these are different envelopes. Isn't that interesting? Huh. Strange. So anyway, so I did cut them off just so that they're 4 inches because I did my other one bigger and it didn't actually fit on in a signature because it was too wide. So and we do have our openings all on this side, and as Angela pointed out, you do want to make sure that they are all on the one side. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them. So we are going to I'm going to show you how we glue them together. I need to grab a paper towel for my glue. I am going to be using my Barely Arts glue here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab a couple of paper clips. This is how Angela did it, and I didn't do it the first time I tried it. Second time I tried it, I did clip it, and that helped. So I'm just going to separate these. I do need to cut, so these are the 3 bottom ones, so let's go ahead and get them stacked. And how far apart you put them is totally up to you. I wanted it to be fairly tall, so I did do mine about 1 inch, I believe. So I'm just gonna go like that, and I'm just using my mat here to line that up. So I've got this at 1 inch. I'm gonna grab a pencil and again another reach. There we go. So I just came from the doctor, unrelated to workers' comp, another personal issue. I told the advice nurse, or the person who made the appointment, I'm like, I feel like an old car, that the bottom of the car is rusted out. You can see the road through it, and the lug nuts are all falling off of my wheels. So you know how things tend to happen in groups of things, events and issues and problems? That's what's happening for me right now. So a physical issue that I have been able to maintain is no longer able to be maintained. So I had to go to the doctor today and get some help with that. So hopefully I will get some relief in that regard. So I'm doing the same here. I'm going to line up this one with this line. because I've already got my inch here, an inch-ish. There we go. And I'm going to do the same here. And I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just trying to get it about an inch. So I'm going to make another mark there and there. And then we're going to go ahead and set these aside. Hopefully they'll clip together. They're all varying. That's good. And then this one we do need to cut down a little bit, because if we leave it the length that it is, oh, well, maybe not. Yeah, we leave it the length it is, it'll be the same exact length as that. So we don't want that, which means the papers I pre-cut are probably going to have to be adjusted, because I did not, well, I did account for it on mine. Never mind. I'm not going to be actually doing it with this, because if my measurements are even slightly off, all the cut pieces will not work. So I'm just going to go ahead and come in here and take, I'm not going to take an inch. I'm going to take a 1/2 inch off. So let me just do that. Actually, let me just make a mark. Goodness gracious. It's easier to make a mark for me than to read the measurements on these gadgets. So I'm just going to take a bit off there. And so now we have to glue that, because now we've opened the bottom. We don't want it open. So I'm just going to open her up, and I'm just going to glue along the bottom. I don't want to glue this side, because that's going to be a pocket, or tuck spot rather. So I'm just going to run my glue across this whole area. There we go. And there we go. So that is ready to go. So now we can go ahead and put this one in place as well. So I'm just going to hold these the way that I had them before, and I'm going to line this up again to a 1 inch mark, and I'm going to slide this one in, and I'm going to also put that at 1 inch, and then we're going to see how tall it's going to be. And I do want to make sure that the edges are nice and straight. They look to be pretty darn good. So I'm going to clip here, and these envelopes are different than what I was using before. I must have grabbed from a different stack, so it shouldn't be a problem though. So what we're going to do then is turn this over. I do need to release this one here, because we are going to, well, hold the fort. I can just move this over a little bit. Got an extra piece of something in there. What is that? Oh, interesting. So I need to release this piece. These envelopes are completely different than what I had before. Oh my goodness. It's okay. It doesn't matter what envelopes you use, as long as you follow the basic principle. So what Angela did, you can see that this one's different than the 3. So strange. So this one we are not going to glue down. We're going to leave that alone, but we are going to glue this one to this one. So I'm going to pull this out, because I can't have that in there because it's in the way, right? Goodness gracious, I thought I was all ready to do this. Okay, so what we want to do is, this is a pocket over here. This is not a pocket here. It's only a pocket at this point. So this part should be fine for me to glue, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I did my sample earlier today, and I've had a bunch of kind of emotionally draining things happen this afternoon. Going to the doctor is always really difficult for me, and the kind of doctor I had to go to was even more so. So it's difficult. Trauma history. So I'm a little bit, I'm just having trouble remembering exactly how I did this, but we will figure it out together. So we're just going to fold that one down. We're going to give it a good press. It looks to be really lined up well. I hope that you guys can see this okay. And then we're going to do the same with this one. We're going to glue that one down as well. So I'm just putting it on the flap itself. I'm not putting it anywhere else. Now when we get to putting the papers on the real one, I'll explain how you do that and retain your pockets. Angela explained it very well. I always struggle with it, so I was really grateful for her added kind of instruction and wisdom about how to do that effectively anytime you're trying to use a space as a pocket. So I'm just going to press that one down too, and I'm not too concerned, as I mentioned before, about perfection. That's not what I'm here to do. So it looks like it's a little bit. Let me take this off and see if I can straighten that a little bit, since we don't have, we're using Barely Art, so we do get some room to fudge it, but that's not gonna move. So you can see here I've got just a little bit of a lip, but is that on our side where we have our openings? It is. So let me just take that off. So we have an opening, an opening, and an opening, and then this is our top one. So we're just going to put that in place again, because I did move it, and kind of measure it out here a little bit. Looks to be about right. Turn her back over, and we're going to glue this one to this. I hope you guys are doing okay. We're in the home stretch for spring break. We just have tomorrow, Friday, the what is the 1st, and then we're on spring break. So I'm so glad. And I'm only working till 11:30, and then I'm going to go home when the students go home. So I need to rest and I need to rejuvenate. So that's what it looks like. So then when you that happened before too. That's not supposed to happen. Why is that happening? I must have put glue where I wasn't supposed to. Let me show you what it's supposed to look like. You get the basic construction here. I don't know what I did different. Like I said, it was hard to remember what I had done. So in this case, I didn't have that problem. So my guess is I did not get glue where I wasn't supposed to get it. So you'll have to experiment. I'm by no means, this is not a tutorial. It is just a craft with me, kind of a show you what I'm doing. So that is all prepped to go. It's the same envelopes, basically. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to ink up all of my paper bits, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the sewing machine, and then I'll pause and I'll do the sewing, and then I'll come back and we'll start the construction. So I'm going to go ahead and do the inking, and I'll be back with you. Okay, just finishing up the inking here, and then we can go on with the next step. I'll show you what I'm going to do with the eyelet. So I'm not going to worry about inking this up right now. I don't think it's a problem, so I'm not going to do that. I did cut some circles which we'll be using for little tabs for our journal cards, which we'll get to later. I may do those off camera. We'll see how long the video goes. So what we're going to do, these are already inked and ready to go, and I did write their placement. So this is panel 1 and 2, 3, 4, etc. And these are the papers that will go on the back side that can be written on, journaled on. So I've got 3 of those. So I'm going to get out my glue stick. And this worked really well when I did it last night with my prototype. Is I took the papers and let me get the main papers, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Oh, and the gluing. So the issue with the gluing, let me show you what happened here. I now know what happened. So see here how I have this extra bit that's above the envelope? That's what this is here. So I just put my glue too far. So they're exactly the same. And so when we put this one together, we are going to I had to cut extra pieces. So like I've got an extra piece that goes here that will fill up that space, because when it closes, I want it to, yeah, it'll work when we get to it. I'm not sure why maybe that's the wrong one there, but we'll figure it out when we get to that point. But that's what happened there, guys. I was not crazy, I just forgot. I don't know that they're very different from one another. So I'm not going to put the eyelet on this because I actually ran out. I have just enough for 3. So I'm going to set that one aside as the first one. And then this is 3, this is 4, and this is 2. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I've got this going the right way. So this is 2, so it's going to go on this panel, on this envelope, and it is fitting, it's cut exactly right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my glue stick, and I'm going to glue this on the bottom so that I can sew it. So let me do that really quick. And in fact, I'm just going to put these on. I'll leave the camera rolling while I'm doing the gluing, and then I'll I'll pause or cut it out and do my sewing. So I'm just running a bit there. Okay, so there we go. We've got our 3 panels ready. I'm going to go ahead and pause and do the stitching, and I'll be right back. Okay, we are done. So we've got 1, 2, 3. I did trim up a little bit of paper off here when I tried to trim off the eyelet, but that's what the stitching looks like. I just love it. So there's the 3. And we are ready to start construction. Woohoo! And there's my pin again. And I wonder why I have a problem with my pins. Okay, so we're going to start with the fronts. So this one I'm not putting any eyelet on, so I thought I would just glue it straight on. I do have a cluster that I will be putting on it, but I'm going to save that for last. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. So the way you want to do this is we're going to glue around the whole all the edges, excuse me, of this piece. And then we're going to put glue here. And this is how Angela does it. So, and then she put glue here. And then she put glue all around the edges as well. So I'm going to do the same and then fill in the middle here. I don't know if she filled in the middle here or on the paper, but it doesn't matter. I'll show you what is most important to remember here because I've learned the hard way more than once. So the tricky part here is that you have to make sure that you don't get glue in this area, otherwise you close your pocket. So I'm going to turn this just so I can get a good, oops, oh my goodness, that's the wrong side. Ah, okay, well, best laid plans. This is the underside, so this is where this paper goes. So let's see if this is the right piece. Looks like it. So let's go ahead and put that on. Goodness gracious, hopefully this glue will last. Oh my word. I need a vacation. I'm getting a little mini vacation. I'm going to go to the beach with my oldest sister, the one that I've just reunited with, and it's going to be awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this here. And I'm going to line it up as best I can. It's the same deal. So this can only go, I didn't cut this one down. That's the problem. So, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm going to go ahead and just get it glued on here. And then, goodness, I need to, because this is where it folds, right? Yeah, that's where it folds. So I need to get, I can get more glue in there. I just want to get this in position here, and then I'm going to trim it off. And hopefully I won't make all this right. I didn't shorten this inside piece, which I needed to do, but now we're crooked. Okay, bear with me, guys. This is just not the way this is supposed to go at all. So I'm going to go ahead and reapply my glue. I'm just going to reapply right on that edge, right there and right here, and right here. I swear I did have it figured out, you guys. This is so bizarre that this is happening. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing my mind, like it just, my mind does not work like it's supposed to at all. It's kind of scary. Okay, so did we cut it off? No, not yet. Okay, so we're going to line it back up again with that fold, not quite to the fold. I did not have that straight, so that's why I was trying to do that again. Don't you know, things don't always work out the way that we think they should. Yeah, I talk about that all the time, and we have to be flexible, and we have to not worry about it, and we have to learn from each other, and we have to choose to have joy even when things are tough. So there's that. So we'll have to come in with that extra piece to fill in this spot. So, or no, that my regular piece, oh never mind, it's because this is the first part, the first piece. That's why everything feels weird, because the first piece, the top piece is different than the rest. So, oh my word, this is supposed to go on here, and we don't have to worry about any of that. We can just glue it down. Oh, for pity's sake. I'm going to go ahead and glue all the front panels on, and I will leave the camera rolling, but I will probably speed that puppy up because this is already quite a long little bit of creating chaotic creating. Is that such a thing? There we go. As I mentioned though, if I wait till I feel good, or I wait until it's the weekend, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. There's not enough time in the day. So we're going to go ahead and put that there, and then I'm just going to make sure it's lined up as best I can. Give it a good press. That's what it's supposed to look like. Isn't that paper just delicious? I love it. It's wrinkled paper, you can tell. It is not in another language that I can tell. Maybe it is. It might be. But yeah, it's beautiful. So now we're going to fold that back. We've got a little bit of a hangover here. Let me just trim that while I'm at it. There we go. So let's make sure our pocket is open. If the pocket's not open on this first one, I am not going to be concerned about it, because this was, in fact, is it? No, it is. I'm just going to stick my ruler in there and just make sure that that's all nice and open. My journal cards are not huge. I did allow lots of room, so it looks like we're good. So, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Now, the second one goes... I'm so glad you guys are here. And then this one's going to go here, and then we have an extra piece that's going to go in that spot. That's going to be its own little bit. Let me see if I can figure out which one it is, though, because I separated these. It's not that one. That's too thin. So strange, because all of the rest of them get bigger. I must have changed something. We'll have to just cut another one. We just know that this has to go here, and it's gonna line up pretty well because it was again pre-measured and pre-cut. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac now, because I want to be able to move this in case I have an issue. So, and I like it. It works faster. I mean, it comes out faster. It gives me less grief. And it's just easier. I don't know why I even have the other glues, because this one is my favorite. I'm going to go right over that stitching. is the last panel. So we're just running the glue again all the way around these edges on this little tabby bit across this edge. We don't want to glue the pocket shut, so this is the way to ensure that you don't do that. And I don't think it matters if you put it on the base or you put it on this paper or that, as long as you can keep track of what needs to stay open, which, you know me guys, I struggle so much with that kind of thing. So I'm just going to put glue on around all the edges of this. Again, I'm not worrying too much about how thick my glue line is because my cards are not super huge, so, and I can always trim them down if I want to. So these are slightly different. They're not square, so I'm having to think about this, which direction this is actually supposed to go. It's not that direction. Okay, so we're gonna get this in place here. And pardon my head, guys. I suppose I could move back a little bit. That would help. I'm just gonna slide that up and do that. We are not straight over here, but that is okay. I am not worried about it at all. Again, you know, we are our own worst critic, and we tend to pick apart our work. See, I don't know why that's like that. I probably just didn't cut this big enough, but I'll just ink those edges and it'll look like I meant to do it. So now we have our last main panel, and then we've got the strip that it goes to, and I actually cut it off like that so it'll look like it's seamless. I know, it was an epic moment for me. I don't get them all the time. So there we go. Yeah. Let's get this in place here. So that's our middle piece. And I'm not an engineer, so I can't really explain to you why this happens, other than it's the cascading, it's the waterfall effect that we end up with this extra space. So depending on how this space will be determined by how you stagger your papers or your envelopes will determine how big this needs to be. So you just need to make sure you don't put this up here because that would be wrong. It's going to fit on the panel part itself. So that will be something that you'll just need to watch for when you do your own. And definitely check out Angela because she was a lot clearer on this than me. I am just piggybacking on what she did because I fell in love with it and I was dreaming about it. So it's like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to be me and give it a try, because what's the worst that can happen? We ruined some envelopes, we ruined some paper, not a big deal. Lord knows we have enough. There we go. So let's go ahead and get this on. Voila! This is so beautiful. So I'm leaving a gap there, making sure I'm also on the actual fold here for this. So there we go. Give that a press. And so that's going to fold up with no issue. No issue whatsoever. Look at that. Isn't that epic? Thank you, thank you, thank you, Angela. This is gorgeous. Look at that. It's just beautiful. I'm a little bit disappointed that this is not more covered over. I almost wish that I had inked. I may go ahead and ink this. I'm not sure. I may just leave it and just let it be what it is. It just looks a little bit weird because in my prototype I only made my spaces between about 1/2 inch, and I went an inch this time because I wanted this to be taller. So total height is just under 7 inches. So there is that. So let's go ahead and ink all these edges up and I'll be back with you. So that's what it looks like. There's how you know it worked right. Woo, woo. Oh, let's check our pockets. Let's check our pockets. Let's make sure that they are intact, especially on that last one. or that was the first one actually. The pocket's not as big as it should be, and so I'm just going to kind of press that ruler in there and just try to widen that space a little bit. And then here too, we're going to stick that in there and just loosen that up. This, the glue spreads and makes that that pocket smaller than we want it to be. And there we go. We are good. We've got our pockets too. Yay! Okay, so let's go ahead and ink this up, and I'll be right back, guys. You know, I'm not concerned about the inking there. That looks just fine. So the way this is going to work is it's going to actually just glue to the page by this bit. Look at that. Oh, it's so epic. So if this is glued to the page and it doesn't move, we're just testing. It's all going to open up just fine and dandy. Yay. Okay. Let's do our cluster really quick. I like clusters. They make me happy. Oh, I don't know. I'm not even on any medication, you guys. I'm not taking any painkillers. I did take muscle relaxer last night because I was dying, and then I didn't sleep because of my other issue. It's like I feel like I can't, sometimes I feel like I cannot catch a break, you know? Do you know what I mean? So that's going to go there, and then we're going to build our cluster on top of it. So let's go ahead and get this down while we're here. Why not? And then I'm just going to quickly put the journal cards together, or just show them to you. I'm going to probably back them with some coffee dyed paper because I don't like them to be, I generally don't like them to be stark white, so I will probably be, I'll be putting some coffee dyed paper on the back of them or stenciling on them or something. So let's just get this cluster made. There we go. Let's build her. Let's build her up. So I'm going to just put that there. My Fabri-Tac. Just because I am gluing on the lace here directly. And I'm just going to go to the edge because I want to cover up that edge of that lace edge there. I want to move that down. Move down. Move down. Move down. There we go. And then we've got a piece of this kind of just a beigey paper. Just use the art or Barely Arts here for that. I love my clusters, you guys. I just think they just create so much depth and interest and personalization to a project. You know, it's not just slapping some paper on, you know, it's thought filled, you know. And that, oh, I wanted to put that under there. Hold on, let me see if I can squeeze it in. I don't know if I can. We'll see. I just wanted this flower to kind of stick under here a little bit. If I can. Come on. Let me do it. Because the reason why I chose this circle, I cut this circle, is because it then ties in the other pages to this. Because the colors on some of the other pages are quite different, like this one are more of those reddish flowers, so I thought that would be nice to bring that all together. And we're going to go ahead and put that paper on as well, and then put our sentiment. And then I will get the, I will do the journal cards off camera, and I will just show them to you in the photos at the end if you guys don't mind. I've already kept you long enough. My main thing was I just wanted you guys to see how this goes together so that you have a chance to give it a try. If you don't follow Angela, which I'd highly recommend again, but if you don't, then you can definitely give it a try off of mine. I'm just looking for another piece of lace here for the sentiment. Let's see if we can do that. Yep, right there. I don't care if it sticks out even. So thank you guys so much for coming by again and for doing what you do, encouraging and writing and leaving comments and all of that stuff. It's so wonderful. I am getting in the mindset that I need to be thinking about my 1,500 subscriber giveaway because it's not going to be long before we're there. So I want to be able to do a journal or give maybe it'll be an ephemera pack or something this time. I'm not sure because I'm not really making a journal right now that I can give away. I'm actually, this is a commission journal, so there we go. Beautiful. So so thanks guys so much. Look at this, it's so cute. And then writing space, and then the cards will go in here with little tabs on them, and it's just beautiful. Okay, thanks you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.